guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video we're talking about the Faraday cage, or in this instance Faraday bag and Faraday box. I have promised guys, I think since last year, that I'm gonna do the video, and it was part of my this year of great preparedness, if you wish, to do a Faraday cage, or in this instance box. If you follow the channel, I did mention to you guys that initially I was going to start with a big one to house our big solar equipment in the van. So we have bought a big metal chest which we're going to then line. However, haven't had the opportunity to do so, but I wanted to keep you up to date because I feel like it's kind of time pushing on with kind of current affairs in terms of the solar things, what's happening, that I really wanted to push this out to you to make sure that you know your options and prepare for it. As a duty, as a prepper, is to make sure that we can protect our equipment. Things are happening, obviously the solar activity is predicted to be the worst in 2024, and hence the point of me wanting to do this as soon as possible, because in the end of the day guys, the equipment that we buy, none of it's particularly cheap, and if we end up being without electrical equipment for like months, that could prove to be a little bit difficult. So I thought it's a good idea to get a move on. So my point to you guys, right, there's many videos out there how to make a Faraday cage, and some things that could be very simple, i.e. you see some people making it from a metal tin, like a trash can, as Americans call it, with the lid. I see certain issues with that, and first of all, being it's not particularly portable. I have a comical vision of just running around from your house with a metal tin full of your torches and stuff. It kind of looks a bit daft. Idea is there, it works, but it's somewhat a little bit comical, and I think it's almost a piss take in a way. You can of course use that guys, but the point in as well that once you put your stuff in there, obviously you have to line this with non-conductive material. You have to tape it, and tape it good. And that's meaning that you can't keep taking your torches or things out. So that means you have to purchase a double amount of whatever you buy and keep it in the tin. Secondly, it's not particularly the nicest thing to look at. You can't particularly, well, you can put it on a shelf I suppose, but to me it doesn't really look like a feasible or a good option. So the options are guys is having the metal box, conductive metal box with a non-conductive inner, or having the non-conductive outer with a conductive inner, and then with another non-conductive lining. So my first option was the Peli storm case. This is MI 2600, okay? Reason gone for the Peli case is because they're pretty much indestructible, okay? They have a lifetime warranty, and they're like fireproof, they're everything proof, they're life proof basically, and they do come with a lifetime warranty if you buy this brand new, although yet to establish whether it's actually true and how that works. However, those guys are not particularly cheap. They are upwards like £200-300 depending on the size. However, you can pick them up if you look online. You can pick them up for half that if you have a look on the marketplace or even eBay. Although some of them come a little bit beaten up, but the point is, as long as you've got the rubber gasket in there, and you're good to go. Okay, so in this instance, I've gone for that one. It's a suitable size for what I feel that I want to have inside. And the idea is, guys, we align this with a conductive fabric. Okay. Many people think that the foil is a good option, and yes, it does work. It works for certain things, but not for everything in terms of a shielding. One thing as well, people use tapes, and people show using aluminium tape and a copper tape. Some say the copper tape is working better because it's more conductive. Well, we're not talking about conductivity here. We're talking about the shielding abilities, yeah? Yes, copper is more conductive than aluminium by about 60%. However, it's the shielding options that we're looking at. And basically the, excuse me, the aluminium tape, which I got here, they do not work, okay? And trust me, we tried, and we've gone through rolls and doing the different tests. They do not work as a shielding material. I haven't tried the copper ones, not intending to, not for the money that the roll will cost you, okay? So my option is the shielding fabric, okay? You can buy this guys on, well, you can buy this on a few websites. You can buy this on Amazon. I got mine from Temu, okay? I feel, obviously, because of the prices differences, okay? Literally on Amazon, you're looking to pay about four times the price. You can buy this elsewhere. And for some of you wonder, like, they buy this from the same factory. You just basically line in a pocket for somebody else just to make money. So I don't have money to do so. I'm not throwing my money around just to line somebody's profits. If I can buy this cheaper, I will do. Life is tough right now. Don't judge me for it. the light just gone off. Anyway, so about 2 meter by a meter, it cost me about £15, which is absolutely bargain, okay? And then, right, I have is the same fabric, shielding fabric, but it's got a glue on it. So it's basically like a tape, but it's identical. It's double-sidedly conductive, so it is pretty much is that just with the glue. So my point was, I have lined the pellet case with the fabric, okay, and I've taped it round with the tape on the joints. I then decided to also put a thin layer of foil on the inside for just extra, just because I felt like it, okay? And again, it won't hurt because they're both is equally, not as equally as good, but they're both doing their jobs, okay? So the next thing for that is to make sure, guys, that we are having no gaps. Whatever you make, okay, you have to make sure that conductive material touches every point. So if you're closing the pellet case or any other case, make sure that both parts of the lid are conductive, so nothing will get through. Tiny, tiny, tiny gap or rip in your conductive fabric will deem the whole process ineffective, okay? So, and trust me, I know this 100% because we've been trialing with different things, and honestly, you have to be super, super careful, otherwise it's pointless doing it. So, as I'm almost finished, but I still need to do the gaskets to make sure that it seals properly, because we're still having a tiny bit of leakage and crackling when we put stuff in there. So this is that. Another thing is there's kind of a little bit of a misconception that people seem to think that just because you put your radio in your box or Faraday cage, that means it's doing this job. It would do the job for your radio waves. It wouldn't do the job for any other waves, and that's the point. I can put that radio in the microwave and it will stop working. Okay, I can put this in the metal filing cabinet, it will stop working, but you only stop working for radio waves. And again, there is apps on the App Store that you can check the how well your item is shielding, whatever you're obviously trying to shield. And a lot of those apps actually don't work, okay? So you have to be careful. So the best way when you trial whatever you build, okay, is to actually test your Wi-Fi signal, your Bluetooth, your phone signal, and of course still the radio signal. But use your phone, try to do like make a phone call, make sure you connect your speaker to Bluetooth and then put the speaker in there, make sure it'll stop working. Test it all by yourself with the equipment that you have, because I would not trust or wouldn't want to trust a free app there that can test all the signals, because I don't quite believe they can. And I've downloaded the app and they wanted money as well, but the app doesn't bloody work. I'm not going to say what it is because, well, it's not my place, but just do your test, but do your test with your own equipment, okay? And a test for all 4 things to make sure that they work. So next thing, guys, right? So this is more like an expensive version there, right? So foil, okay? Foil does work to some extent, but you have to wrap something in it really, really tightly and make sure there's no tiny holes, like the same with the box, because it kind of stops the signal, but you have to be very careful. And of course, you have to put a non-conductive part of inside the foil. So if you're putting up, you can't just put your torch or your power bank in the foil, because if EMP happens, whatever, it basically will fry it, because the foil being conductive or material being conductive, it will just fry your equipment. So it's a common misconception that people just put the stuff in and they think it's okay. It's not. It has to have a non-conductive outer, so it can't touch the conductive material directly. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Right, so the next thing, guys, for the ease of things, and I found this and I was really, really chuffed with myself. By the time I finished messing around with my pillowcase and the big one, I spotted those bags, right? Again, from the same place. And again, you can buy them on Amazon as well. They have the same conductive material on the inside, the same as that. And the job is done for you, okay? You've got non-conductive on the top, conductive on there. I know they always say that you put your laptops in there and stuff like this, and they just show putting it in there, again, directly as it is. Again, if you're just trying to shield yourself from RFID type thing, that's fine. Absolutely, go ahead. But with anything stronger and the different signals, especially EMPs, that will just fry your equipment anyway. So even if you buy one of those, guys, put a non-conductive insert, okay? And in my case, it will be one of those little foam laptop cases, okay? So you can put your torches, your power banks, everything in there, put it in there, and then put this inside. And again, test it, okay? That gives us an ability, guys, that this stuff here, they've got the double Velcro. So you basically roll it over and you Velcro this together. And again, as soon as you kind of press it really hard, the signal stops coming through. You have to be overly careful, and I still don't suggest you open this like 20 times a day, because the Velcro will still wear off and you lose, the material will kink. It's kind of inevitable, but if you do need to get an access to once in a while, you can, and you just reseal this back afterwards. So guys, for example, let's try the Bluetooth option, okay? With the phone signal, I can obviously provide the thing, but we have, hopefully still connected, the speaker. We're doing a white noise because, well, it's not copyright registered then. So the idea is, goes in there. Okay, so you see, so now the Bluetooth stopped working. Automatically, it just lost the signal because they won't let the signal through. So it totally disconnected the speaker, okay? So that's the point, right? So this is the point, guys. And it will do the same with the phone. I put the phone in there and it totally loses the Wi-Fi and it loses the cell phone signal altogether. So try to call it, it won't call. So the point is, they're proven that, like they say, you block the satellite, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the RFID and the satellite thing. So they are working, and they are super, not say super cheap, but for what they are and ready to go, this is a really, really good option. Because I totally understand, guys, nobody's got time to flap around with buying things like that, or, you know, buying a metal can and messing around with it. If you just want a quick solution, and as I said, those things, I managed to pick one up when they just came out, and they were doing this on a deal for the big one. I paid less than £6. Like, come on. It's like, I bought this for 15 quid. I might as well just get the whole bag and be done with it. Yes, another laptop case will cost a little bit, a couple of quid to put the stuff in it, but you can line this with a cardboard if you really wanted to, kind of thing. You know, there are options out there, cheap options to be had. So I am very happy, and I do hope, guys, that it kind of make it easy for you to understand what we're kind of trying to say, basically. But things like, okay, we're talking about putting inside it anything that's got a chip inside, okay, is worth putting in there. So spare torch, lamp. I've also obviously put in the LED torches, but I also put the batteried little lanterns as well, not just the stuff that needs recharging, just in case. Things like obviously the power banks and the cable. I will put the iPhone cables in there because I think the iPhone cables, original ones, got the chips inside the little end pieces. So again, if shit happens, then they get fried anyway. So it's pointless having your phone and the charger if you don't actually have a cable for it. So anyway, guys, right, I hope that kind of gives you a vague idea of what it is that we could be doing. And my suggestion to you, as I said, just obviously find the way that, guys, that suits you. There's other options of the stuff you can make a Faraday cage out of. But again, think logically, like if you do have to get out your house, are you going to run around with a metal can? Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit comical, a bit daft. But again, running around with a suitcase, not particularly the same idea, but at least you can have extra bits in there, different things in there as well, and you can just take and go if you have to. And this is even more portable, be it only for smaller things. So anyway, I hope you guys find this helpful, okay? I don't want to scare anybody. I'm not like expert on the whole situation. However, I've done my research for a really long time. I've certainly experimented with many fabrics and many things to come to my own conclusion. So that's that. Hopefully you find this helpful, and don't forget, maybe thumbs up, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.